Okay, guys, so I've just finished streaming right here, right now, and I've got a process for you guys to follow to make a service-based website. This is an improved prompt. It's using Claude code. Let's just jump straight into things. So the first thing you want to do is you want to open a new terminal. You want to make a new folder using mkdir. We'll call this service generator, cd service generator. Now, you can do many of these at once. I'm just going to do one because otherwise, I've just spent 2 hours doing this on stream, so I don't want to go through this entire process again. But just so you know, you can do more than one of these at the same time. Now, you only need one command. Well, that's not true, actually. You need a couple of commands here. So the first command here is to add the DigitalOcean MCP. This will make sense in a moment. I'm just going to take this off the screen for 1 second, but this is just a command. I'll leave the command in the document. Okay, so I ran that command successfully, and that should have installed the DigitalOcean MCP. So let's just add that. Add these MCPs. You literally just need to run these commands. Change your DigitalOcean API token. I just deleted some things from here. This isn't a real API token. Put your API token here, and then the other one is Playwright. Okay, so for Playwright, I can actually show you guys because there's no API token. It's just literally Claude MCP add Playwright. This is in the new folder I created. I don't want you to get confused right now. We're setting up a dev environment or like a way to build many of these websites at the same time. If you guys like this video, I'll do one for WordPress as well. I'll do another one for, whatever you guys want, right? So you press enter here. This already exists in local config. That's because I just did it. And then the only other command you need is this one here, which is Claude dangerously skip permissions, okay? Now we run that, okay? We're gonna go to the document here. So add these MCPs, put this into your memory, right? So we will put this into Claude's memory like this, okay? So copy this and then do /memory, project memory. This opens up a, what's it called? A notepad. So you can just paste the prompt in from the document, and then Control S, and then I'm just going to close this on another screen. When you close that, you can see that closed here as well. And then we literally just grab this here. Just so you know, there are a couple of other things going on here. Number one is that I have Docker set up, right? This is super important. The reason being is because we're going to be launching on DigitalOcean. If you have Docker set up and you have GitHub CLI on Claude Code, you actually don't even, you don't need to do anything. It'll do everything for you, okay? So just bear that in mind. I also have GitHub CLI and Docker set up. We just set up Playwright and we just set up DigitalOcean. So we effectively have everything we need to get this going, okay? So I'll just put this into a notepad and I'll show you how this works. All you do is, let's say you're making a plumbing website, right? So plumbing website in Athenry Island, right? Services, all plumbing and emergency plumbing services you can think of, English and Irish, and then we could add something like Ukrainian or whatever, because there's a lot of Ukrainian people here in Ireland. And then let's say all large towns within a 50-kilometer radius of Athenry Island. Contact info, I'll just use placeholders for now, but you can just fill those in as you see fit, right? So let's do /MCP. If you followed all my instructions, you'll have DigitalOcean here and Playwright here, right? Very simple to set up DigitalOcean MCP, by the way. You just go to my account here and just get an API key. Sorry, you go down to API on the bottom left. I apologize for that. And then generate a new token, give Claude Code that token on the install instruction, right? And then let's just feed this prompt here. And you don't actually have to do anything else, because if we look quickly at this prompt, okay, let's go down. So what does it actually do? You are a service website generator that uses Docker to fix problems until the website fully runs without any issues. You also use the Playwright MCP to read browser logs if an error isn't occurring client side but browser side. You make an individual new project per folder. I will give you the services, languages, etc. You just need to create the site with a Docker instance to test. And then when I tell you to, send the code to GitHub repo I will give you, and then set up the DigitalOcean, whatever, using the DigitalOcean MCP. You have access to the GitHub CLI, okay? Let's just make sure that this actually builds the Next.js project properly. Okay, so the time is 5:30. Let's see how long this entire process takes. Now remember, I have not given this much information at all. All I gave it in terms of like things that I had to give it beforehand was this XML stuff here. Everything else comes from the prompt itself, including images, okay? So we will even get some images from Unsplash in this project. So let's see how this works, right? First of all, this creates a Next.js project using a very specific command, which bypasses the need for you to actually press enter, right? Now that is a little bit buggy with Windows, just so you know. It might just be easier for some people to just make the project themselves, because it can be quite annoying sometimes to get Claude code to make the Next.js project. It's not really needed that it makes it itself, right? But, at the end of the day, it's nicer if it does. Okay, so I'm going to press escape here. I'm going to say start spinning up multiple sub agents, please, to speed things up. Okay, so you can see here now it's starting to research Irish locations close to Athenry. Do plumbing services. It's getting images. It's setting up. So it's really starting to speed up now. You can see 3 minutes have passed. Let's see how long this actually takes to complete. Remember, I really want to stress this, okay? I'm not doing anything, okay? I'm not bug fixing. I'm not telling it what to do anymore. It's got everything it needs, right? It should technically just build an entire project to the point where yeah, I mean, I would say in 13 minutes time, it will have a website that you can launch. I wouldn't be surprised if I could launch a website in half an hour now. Okay, so I'm so confident in this, I just went and made a thumbnail and then came back, and you can see it's already running npm run build. It's only been 10 minutes. Let's see if we can actually get it in 13 minutes. Now, one thing I notice is there are no images in here, so it's messed up one part of it. Unless I'm wrong and they're actually here. Mm, no. Okay, so yeah, there was a slight problem with the images. I'm not sure what happened, but I didn't actually put any images here. I would just be very aware of when you decide to tell it to use sub-agents. If you tell it to use them too early, it doesn't actually work. You should let it do like the research, the plumbing stuff, the image stuff, and then run multiple sub-agents, I would say. Okay, guys, so because this is just an example video, I don't want you to take away that this is what the website will look like. I made a mistake, okay? The sub-agents thing was a mistake. It doesn't really work that well. It goes ahead of itself, etc., etc. But the basics are here. I've done absolutely nothing, right? You can switch to Gaelic, that all works, etc., etc. Even the SEO is done here for another language. But let me just show you kind of what this can do. Now, if you don't believe me in terms of this website being made in the exact same way, then feel free not to believe me. But this is what it should look like, right? If you don't use the sub-agents thing, etc., etc. Now, this is a 1,000-page website, both in Gaelic, which is Irish, and English, which are the two languages of Ireland. Obviously, there's a couple of color problems here, but that's not a big problem. You can see we've got all of these different pages, all of this different SEO, all of it's done, right? So the really cool thing about this is once it can run npm run build, right, and once it completes this entire project, again, I wouldn't recommend spinning up multiple agents. Okay, so once it does this, right, npm run build correctly works. That's the important thing. You can see it generated all of these pages here. Again, this isn't the best example because I tried to make it go fast, whereas I should have just done multiple of these at the same time, and I shouldn't use sub-agents. I'm actually going to remove that from the prompt. There's just something about sub-agents that just makes it like mess up, basically. So for now, we'll keep it simple. When you guys run this, you won't be affected with the sub-agent problem. Okay, so what do we do now? Okay, let's say I want to get this website live, even though I know it looks trash. It's just an example. So we'll call this example for video 2 because I've probably already got something called that. So we create a new GitHub repo. So we create this. I made it private. I'm going to say push this to GitHub, this repo. Then use the DigitalOcean MCP to launch the site. Again, this would normally look a lot better than it currently does. I don't want you to get bogged down on the design and everything here, guys. That's not the important thing. The important thing is like how to make one of these websites. If you don't use the sub-agents, it should look something like one of these websites. This was another one that I made on stream. I made this website and this website live on stream. You can check out the stream. It was the stream that I just did. If you don't believe me, you can just check it out. I did everything live there. But yeah, this is the kind of website that you're trying to create, right? You can sell these websites to people once they've got traffic. I don't know why that didn't work. That's okay. That did work. Yeah, you can sell these to people. You can give them, you know, real information and stuff. This is all just made up information. But yeah, that's pretty much everything. So let's just run through this quickly. Why is this asking me to sign in? Okay, so the code did push to GitHub. Okay, perfect. So, sorry, continue. Right, now this is going to use DigitalOcean MCP to put this on DigitalOcean. Okay, like I said, don't get bogged down on the design. Your design will be much better because you're not going to be using sub-agents because it doesn't really work for something like this. Okay, so we should be able to go here, right? And there should be a new app. There we go. Plumbing Athenry 2027. We'll click here, go to build logs. We'll watch this build. And then as soon as this is built, you're finished and you can move on to the next website. So yeah, this is, like I said, the kind of website you're trying to create. Beautiful, really, really good SEO. It also, like I said, has different languages, so more opportunities to rank, obviously. I can't read Irish, but there you go. So all of these pages are in Irish and in English. You can see most of the stuff is translated, some of it's not. That's quite an easy fix. So we should see this build. Once this is finished building, there we go. You can see it just built all the pages. It's pretty much going to work like guaranteed now. If you're feeling a little bit overwhelmed with all of this information, or if you just need a little bit more help with this kind of stuff, definitely check out the Skool community. If you watched all the way to the end of this video, then obviously you're interested in this stuff. And there's a lot more to learn about this kind of stuff in the Skool community. Check out the pinned comment or the description for a link to that. Okay, so this is pretty much done now. Let's just let this finish building. Okay, now it says build complete, so we know that this is going to work. Now, there might be an issue with DNS. It sometimes takes a little bit of time to show me the website, basically. Okay, so when you see that it started, right, that's the important thing. So let's open this. Okay, so there's a DNS issue. The same thing happened with this website. It took like half an hour to show up. I'm not going to sit here for half an hour just to make people believe me that this actually worked. I'm telling you that this worked. The way to prove it is if you go to runtime logs. If you can see that it started successfully, then you know that this project has worked, right? So now, the really cool thing about this is at any time, in any place, as long as you've got your laptop or your computer or whatever, right? Let's say you get a message from one of these clients that you've sold one of these websites to saying, I don't know, I want to change my ciudad principal to something else, right? Because right now the main city is Austin, but they've just moved to, I don't know, San Antonio, right? How can we change that? So what you would do is you would clone the code from GitHub, right? And then you would tell Claude Code to make the change and then push it to main, right? Push it to main branch. And that will automatically trigger a build of that project on DigitalOcean. and it will automatically change the live website for you. So let's see that in action, right? I like to show people genuine things, not just me saying that things are the way they are. So let's take this HVAC, right? Let's just take the example I just gave you as an example, right? Let's open up a new terminal so people don't accuse me of cheating. Call this Austin, Texas. So make a new folder, CD inside that folder, start Claude. Actually, let's just, instead of, I was going to get Claude to do this, but git clone, paste, and then dot, right? So that'll clone this into this project, right? And then we CD inside, no, it should actually just be here, perfect. So we'll write Claude here, and let's take the example. So we want to change this Austin, right? So let's just grab the div. There we go. So we copy selector, right? And say, I want to change my main city in this div from, what is it? Austin to San Antonio. This applies for every single change that you would want to make, right? So let's see this in action. Okay, so you can see service areas, it's looking for the text. I can see Austin text, however, I also notice blah, blah, blah. So let's say yes here. Okay, so it says it's been changed. I won't change anything else just because I can't be asked right now. And then all you do is say, now push this to GitHub main, right? So I have a feeling it's changed this above instead of this, but that's fine, right? I was just showing you an example. So this should change automatically, right? So this just is getting pushed now. So that's committed. Now we're going to push. So push, yes. This pops up with an OAuth for GitHub. I select my GitHub. I press continue. This triggers a build. Look, I don't do anything. This will automatically trigger a build in this project, which will automatically update the website for the client, right? You can see now it's building. This takes like 2 to 3 minutes. Okay, so once you see localhost here, you know that this has worked, right? It just takes a little bit of time after that for some reason. I'm not really sure why. So it's this website. This should have updated. So let's scroll down. There we go. Proudly serving San Antonio, Texas. There we go. Now it still says main city here. Obviously, it just didn't fully understand the instructions, and obviously that was a pretty bad change to make anyway. But you can see how easy it is to actually maintain these websites, and you can also charge the client money for maintenance. I'll leave the video there, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you're watching all the way to the end of the video, you're an absolute fucking legend, and I'll see you very, very soon with some more content. Peace out.